And welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeola Mosaku, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I clean my Dyson. If you're new here, welcome to the community of Know About It. I talk about things you might not know about. I talk about design, I review products. I also do a lot of home organizing, so if you would like to know how to clean your Dyson, stay tuned to the end. So first things first, the first thing you probably know how to do anyway because you do it ever so often is to take this out and empty your Dyson bin. Next, have your washing up liquid. You can use any form of washing up liquid that you would normally use to wash your plates. But what I do is I have a special sponge that I normally keep in the garage for washing things like bin or my Dyson, for example. So I normally try and have a different sponge for doing things like that. So I'm going to use a combination of my washing up liquid. You can use any washing up liquid, and I use this antibacterial kitchen cleaner from M&S. This is from M&S, so I like it a lot. I use it. I'm sure if you've seen my how to clean your fridge video, you would have seen me using this and that. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you want to do, since this bin is cleaned out, you want to take this out and wash it. The way to take it out is just pretend like you're going to empty into a bin. Do that. See all the still debts coming out of there. And you've got two red buttons on each side to get this off. So I don't know if you can see that. There's a red button here and there's another red button here. So click on any one of the two. Just click on the red button and just pull this off really. And that comes off very, very easily. I'm going to put that there. Now that this is off, see how dirty it is. And the next thing you need to do is get this bin off. To get this bin off, turn it upside down and you'd see a red button here. So click on this red button and just pull it out. So I'm going to use one hand because I know where it is already. I'm going to use one hand to click on it and just pull it off like that. So that would come off. What you then want to do is wash all of this, but if you like you can dismantle the whole thing actually. This needs to come off as well. It's going to need a wash. That's out. So you give this a good clean, and this as well is where the filter is. It's very easy to take out. Just pull it out and it'll come out. That also needs a good wash. So what I'm going to do is wash all of that with my washing up liquid and antibacterial spray. So I also need to mention, if you can, try and avoid having water all over in these two plates. So just wash it and try and make sure you don't put water all over there. So I'm going to give this a good wash. It's fairly clean, not that dirty. But what I learned from washing it last time is that if it's not dry, if it's not completely dry, your Hoover would not work. So you want to make sure that this dries out completely. And I'm going to try and see if I don't put too much water in there, since it's not that dirty anyway. But you need this to dry for about 24 hours, if not overnight. But if everything else is dry and this is not dry, your Hoover is not going to work, or it's going to make some very funny noises. So just leave that to dry properly before you use it. So the next thing I'm going to be washing is this filter. It's a bit dirty, as you can see over here. It's got a bit of dusty, musty things all over here. So I'm going to wash this. It's quite easy to wash actually. I've got two tips for you here to know if this is clean. If you do that and the water coming out, it's still a bit brownish, then you know you still got a bit of dust in there. When you do that, like this, just try and get the water out, and you can see the water is clear, and you know this is clean. And another tip I've got for you is I use my diffuser oils on here, so I would just open that and I put a lot in there, kind of soak it in there. This is orange, bloom and rose. It smells really, really good. And you can put any of your oils on there, anyone you like. So I just put that on there. It smells really nice. and when you're hoovering, you would get that smell coming through. I try to wash my Dyson once a month, and for me to know if it's getting dirty earlier than the end of the month, once the fragrance starts to diminish and I can't smell it, then I know it's probably due another wash before the end of the month. But generally it stays for a month before I have to wash it again. My next one to wash is this head, and basically you don't want to put in water. You want to give it a good clean with a bit of cloth. Just give it a good shine like that, and that should be fine. Basically, if you've got a brush, you can also use a brush, and then that should be fine. Just leave that there, and that's it. Next thing we're going to be cleaning is the handle. This is where all the magic happens, so you don't want to put this in water. Just give it a good clean. If you've got a brush, it'll probably be better, but I don't have a brush. I'm not using anymore, but I just use this cloth. It's not that dirty. Like I said, I wash it every month anyway, and that was because of my previous one. I wish I'd watched a video or someone, or maybe read the manual for that matter. I would have known I needed to clean it, but now that I do know, I am maybe overdoing it a bit, but it's okay. So I just clean that with the brush, and that's good to go. So I'm going to put that there. So next thing I'm going to be cleaning is this pole here. So to get it off, click on that, and that will come off. So that's come off, and I'm going to give this a clean. So what I do is I just run water through it first, and then I spray some antibacterial spray in there, and that's it. Basically I just kind of clean it a little bit. It's a bit of a difficult one to clean actually. Looks clean to me. Last but not the least is this is what's left to be washed. This will be one of the dirtiest part of your hoover. So first of all, you can see mine is not too dirty, but very dusty. But the first thing I try and do is just try and get out all the hair here as much as possible. So I just take it out with my hands. I try not to use this to clean my hair because it just sticks to it really. It's quite difficult to get out. So I do go through it. If there's any hair, I take it out just like that. Just my hands, get that out as much as possible, and that goes in the bin. So now I'm going to give this a good wash. You're going to need a brush. Okay, you can see here if it's looking clean or not. If not, just give it a little brush. The things I did in washing this is I used my brush to go deep into the glasses here. Also, I do put it into the hole here, so you can get the brush. It's quite easy to get the brush in there properly and give it a good clean, and also to get around the corners as well. I mean, if you want, I suppose you can unscrew it and then clean it and then screw it back. For me, that's a little bit of a long thing for me to do it every month. So what I do is use the brush, and it's nice and clean, and just leave that to dry as well. At this point, what I do is I also drop 1 or 2 diffuser oils on here. For me, I had a diffuser just to have a bit more fun when you're cleaning. You know, you're thinking about a million things that you still need to do, but when you're hoovering, you get this nice smell coming through, which is quite nice. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you let them dry, all the parts you've just washed, let it dry for 24 hours ideally. If you do that, when you do come to put it together and try to use it, you'll be able to get the best function out of your Dyson. But if you haven't put so much water in it, or you really desperately need it, you can leave it overnight and it'll be fine. Like I said, I normally leave mine overnight, but I've had a situation whereby I couldn't use it because it just wasn't dry properly. Try and leave it for 24 hours for it to dry, because it might not function properly. Now that everything is washed, I have cleaned everything. It's not dry, but I'm going to put it together so that you can see how I put it together, and then I'll have to dismantle it again and dry them out. Ideally, you want to wait 24 hours before doing this next step, but I'm just going to do it so I can show you how you're going to put it back together. So first things first, you can put this straight back in here. It's one of the easiest things to do. Just put that straight back in there, and you can pick this up and put it straight back in here. Remember, if this doesn't dry, it's not going to work, or you're going to have funny sounds. Okay, so to put this back in to its undo, if you've seen those 2 clips I said not to get wet earlier, you basically want to slide it in. It's got those 2 clips that it goes in there, so you want to slide it in very easily, and that's that done. So I'm going to do that, and this just slides in here. So I'm going to push it. See, it's ready to go. Once that's in, what you want to do is just press it in like that and close that. There you go. So everything else I think is pretty much straightforward. This goes in here. It's good to go, and that goes in here. And you've got your Dyson all done, so you're ready to go. Well, I'm going to dismantle this and dry. So that's been fun. I hope it's helped someone out there, because I wish I had this video when I first got my first Dyson. It would be a lot easier to see someone do it, and then I could just do it as well. But thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, click the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you soon in my next video.